Oh, it's definitely earned me more money. Just like Decatur, they were paying 70 cents more for summer corn there in August. We were hauling corn 100 mile for 40 cents, and we're making 30 cents, and I wouldn't even known that price was probably on there. I wouldn't have thought of calling Decatur, but when you go to the Grower's Edge page, then it takes all that running around out of it for you.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. Today is the 25th. It's a Friday for the weekly wrap-up. We had the markets moving higher here today. Let's turn over to the grain hedge trading platform and see where we closed off the day. Soybeans trading up 21 1/4 cents. Corn trading up 7.5, and wheat in Chicago here up 10 3/4 cents on the day. One thing to keep in mind is that this morning we did have a nice reportable export sale of 260,000 metric tons of U.S. soybeans to China for 15-16 delivery. So that was very strong, especially when you take that information. You combine that with the fact that yesterday the Chinese importers signed an agreement to buy 13.8 million metric tons of soybeans in Iowa in a signing ceremony. This is oftentimes viewed as kind of a frame contract where the details aren't truly established. It's just an agreement that a certain amount will be purchased. In general, the total value of that soybean purchase was $5.3 billion. So very, very strong purchase there. I think that helps soybeans. At this point, we know that new crop sales were behind pace, typically from what we see during the marketing year, and this will just help move things along. It's something that we see often around this time of the year, is these large signing ceremonies by China. And it's just positive to see that again. Take a look at the chart here. This is a daily chart. It's a candlestick chart. Each one of these bars represents 1 day worth of price activity, and this chart is something that you can get on your platform. So if you have a Grain Hedge Standard platform, this is a chart that you can easily pull up. It's linked to your quote, so it's very easy to click on either corn, soybeans, or wheat, and it automatically pulls up a chart. Oftentimes, when you use free platforms at other clearing members, other brokers, it'll either cost you money or you won't get the kind of robust charting that you get over here. So I would encourage you to take a demo of our trading platform. You can go to grainhedge.com, just click on the 14-day free trial, and you'll be able to see what it's like to have the tools available that we have here at the office. It certainly is very helpful. Now, this November soybean chart, you'll notice that we're moving back up toward that 890. We did make a run at 890. We had talked about this over the last few weeks, is that 890 will provide a little bit of a resistance up there. So it's something that we want to pay close attention to. Today, we touched on it. We didn't really get much selling pressure off of it. It'll be interesting to see how we open on Monday. But with the strength of the trade today, I wouldn't be surprised on Monday if we break through that and we get a little bit of a rally here. But just be ready for producers out there. I think if we do get a little bit of a rally here, I don't think we're going to get much of an extended rally. Though short covering can oftentimes move higher than you would anticipate, I do think it is a good time to get ready to pull the trigger on some of these new crop soybean sales if they are profitable levels for you. Of course, down at these levels, no one's too eager to make the sales, but considering the production here, the production down in South America, it does leave kind of a very gloomy outlook here for this marketing season. Now, one thing we want to pay attention to as well is the fact that quarterly production estimates in the EU were raised here up to 148.2 million metric tons from 140.6 million metric tons. So that's soft wheat harvested. So in general, it looks as though the EU will be producing more soft wheat than originally expected back in June. And also an announcement that our Fed's Janet Yellen, the chairman of the board there, Janet Yellen, says she expects a rate hike later this year. And so that kind of triggered the U.S. dollar to start moving higher against a basket of currencies. Now, this is a Friday, and we do talk about basis on a Friday, just kind of get an idea of the changes across the nation in the cash market. One thing you'll notice is that we didn't get much of a change here for corn. On average, we were unchanged across the U.S. You'll notice in the eastern part of the grain belt there was some movement lower, but again, some movement higher there in the western part of the grain belt. But in general, unchanged across the U.S. Now, corn and soybean basis is less than the 5-year moving average at this point. There's expectation for a significant harvest, but basis levels are expected to improve. Really, we would forecast sometime in the middle of November. Right now, we're only 10% harvested, so typically during that time of harvest, we do continue to see either depreciation in basis or holding steady with the weak basis. But once you get past that 60% mark, you really start to see a pickup in basis and an improvement as we move through the second half of harvest. For soybeans, on average, across the U.S., we were down 5 cents. The river was off an average of 10 cents, and soybean crush plants were off an average of 20 cents. So there you have a situation where really the U.S. is fully adjusting here to new crop supplies hitting the market. We're seeing basis again lower here this week. It is lower than the 5-year moving average, and we're nowhere close to being near that 60% harvest complete stage when we start to see basis turn around. So just be cautious here. I do anticipate some more weakness here in the soybean basis market in the weeks to come, but mid-November it's likely we start to see a little bit of a turnaround in the basis market. Guys, that wraps up today's show. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, please give the office a call. The number is 877-472-4607. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.